So India is the most populated country in the world, but at this point or at this moment, they don't have a seat in the United Nations Security Council, and they are not keeping quiet anymore. They are willing to speak up and doing it very explosively. Let's check it out.
Embark on the crucial task of reforming, or should I say comprehensively reforming, the United Nations Security Council to better reflect the realities of our world. The clarion call for equity, which will be the focus of my presentation, resonates louder than ever. I am most grateful to the L69 chair for leading us on the L69 model and wish to supplement that presentation with 6 arguments why equity must be the cornerstone of our efforts. First, the principle of equal opportunity for all. Co-chairs, you will agree with me that equity demands that every nation, irrespective of its size or power, be afforded an equal opportunity, and I stress the word here, equal opportunity, to shape global decision-making. As has been wisely stated, more than ever before in human history, we share a common destiny. We can master it only if we face it together. Our question, therefore, is, how much longer? How much longer will the will of 5 members continue to override the collective voice of 188 member states? This must change. My second point.
And also, I'm going to speak for the global south. In fact, Africa, we need to have a seat too. If not countries in Africa, at least one person representing the African continent, because we have billions of people too. So, yeah.
Redressing centuries of injustice. Co-chairs, I think we might all broadly agree that the historical injustices perpetrated against the global south can no longer be ignored.
Right.
And it is time to rectify these disparities by ensuring greater representation for regions like Asia, Latin America, and Africa on the United Nations Security Council, through a reform in both its categories, permanent and non-permanent. Indeed, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. My third point, the Indian example where bold leadership can lead to change. The inclusion of the African Union as a full member of the G20 during India's presidency serves as a powerful testament to the transformative power of political will. India's proactive stance underscores that where there is determination, there is a path to meaningful reform that will ensure equity.
But the question is, what's the restraining factor why they won't accept these nations or even Africa as a continent or India into the seats? Why have only 5 people representing everybody like she said? Because I don't understand. You know, if anything, group everybody into continents and let the continents be represented if you want to do it that way. But it's maybe I don't understand the politics behind it, but I don't think it makes a lot of sense.
My fourth point, amplifying diverse voices. Equity does demand co-chairs that the voices of the marginalized and oppressed be elevated on the world stage. Empowering nations from the global south ensures that all perspectives are heard and respected, that a diversity and democracy of voices is brought to the table, leading to more inclusive decision-making, a more inclusive council, and the operative word is inclusive, to foster broader consensus and legitimacy in its decisions. My fifth point, and so you might ask me, what is the vision? Well, our reform must be guided, I would say, by a bold vision for a more equitable and inclusive world. Comprehensive reform across all clusters under discussion, including an expansion in both the permanent and non-permanent categories, are imperative to realizing this vision. And might I point out, co-chairs, that expanding only in the non-permanent category will not solve the problem. It will, in fact, not reform one category of the United Nations Security Council at all. And in fact, will widen the difference between permanent and non-permanent members even more, thereby perpetuating inequities instead of removing these, and thereby further entrenching a dispensation that is no longer relevant in the current geopolitical context. This, co-chairs, is the heart of the matter. And so I ask, do we wish to perpetuate existing inequities through an expansion in the non-permanent category only, or do we wish to remove inequities through a comprehensive reform that touches upon all aspects of reform as set out in Decision 62/557? Co-chairs, it is all very well to reel off statistics. These are impressive indeed. It is all very well to reel off figures. But, and I do acknowledge that there are many fundamental issues in this discourse. But the most fundamental is this question: can we allow 5 permanent members? And we've all just agreed that this permanent category is not going to go away. So can we allow 5 permanent members to eternally override the collective voice of 188 member states? Let us not forget that this is the whole purpose of this reform: to right historical injustice, to ensure inclusive decision-making through an expansion, we feel, in the permanent and non-permanent categories of membership, including a reform in the working methods of the Council, which also includes the question of the veto.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah, she made very valuable points. And if the reform is not done as soon as possible, I mean, I was going to say people would lose hope, but a lot of African countries have lost hope in the UN. I'm not just speculating right now. We saw countries like, I think, Mali, the other one was, is it Niger or Burkina Faso? You know, they sent the UN out of their country. And even in the BRICS summit, the last one that happened in South Africa, some African leaders were like, hope the BRICS will not be like the UN, where we talk and never get heard. So people are losing hope in the UN. People don't even want the UN to be in their countries. I watched a video the other time about Haiti. The Haitians were like, it's better for us to be like this rather than sending the UN soldiers, that they do more harm than good. That's what they were saying. And you know the condition of Haiti. But they were saying that we'd rather stay like this than having the UN soldiers come in. So people are losing faith in the UN. So a reform has to be done as soon as possible so these people feel included. Imagine if there was a seat of maybe Haiti, somebody out there representing them. They'll probably be heard more. Anyways, let me know what you think about that. I feel like she was spot on, stated everything that needed to be stated. It was an interesting one too. I would like for them to simplify their languages when they are speaking in forums like this. I mean, because people are hearing 10, 20 speeches. So you want to make yours remarkable. Use simple words that would be memorable. Yeah, she was using not big words, but it was too formal and really well scripted. Just my thoughts. But I would like your speech to be more memorable. So when you leave there, people don't forget. They're like, so she said this, she said this, she said this. At least one line. Anyways, let me know what you think about that video. Share your thoughts. If there's anything you want to comment, add, or critique, feel free to do so in the comment section. It's an open dialogue, so I encourage every kind of information. But don't just come criticizing without the facts. Share your facts so we can also learn from you. You guys are smart. Smash that like button, subscribe, and thank you for following the channel. Have a wonderful day. Peace.